is a real building, okay? This is a real building. I'm not showing you all the floor, because we just don't have time to be doing the whole floor, but this is half of a floor. This is a real building, okay? Now, when you do a VAV, right? Do you want to put a VAV in every single room?
No.
Why not?
Well, yes.
Okay, somebody say yes, some people say no. What's your reasoning for yes?
Because it's controlled. The purpose of to distribute the airflow to the conditioned space.
Okay, conditioned space. Okay, well, those said no. Why you say no? You said no for a reason. So,
That's inefficient.
inefficient.
Because you're
Go ahead. I'm listening.
it's not each person is going to want a certain temperature setting, because each VAV is going to have a thermostat, I'm assuming.
Okay.
So you want to have zones, not just individual rooms that want to keep it a certain temperature.
So what you said.
Because the reason why I say that, because I on the commercial side, I see a bunch of in one room. It could be like literally like 50 in one room. So that's why I say all those are for the. Because I remember you saying, was that Monday? It's used to condition a space. So it's for that particular space. It might be an office. That might be the other side of that particular, not that office, but that level. It might condition in one office space. It might be might have 5 VAVs for each.
Is it charged already?
So both of you guys, I understand what you're saying. You just kind of thinking about it just a little bit off. I'm gonna tell you why you're a little bit off. You're actually right, Mr. Chapman. You're actually right.
Okay.
All right, inefficient. Now, not necessarily inefficient for the inefficient part, not the air or the conditioning of the space part. The inefficiency is on the what side?
Cost side.
On the who?
Cost.
Cost. Energy.
Energy.
I want that word right there. Energy.
Energy.
All right. So, like you trying to say, I mean, you got different VAVs for different areas or for a conditioned space, right? But if I wanted to put a VAV in this area, I wouldn't put a VAV in every single office. Because if I did that, I mean, I probably got 30, 40 offices right here. All right. So that'll be 40 VAVs. How much do you think a VAV costs?
About $2 grand.
How much?
$1,000.
$1,000. Anybody else got a number out there you want to throw out there?
I'd say about two, 3 grand.
Let's try about 10. Okay.
10 grand.
So therefore, if I had to put 10 at 40, then I'm looking at $400
million.
$500,000 for some
$500,000 for this spot for one room.
So this is just half the floor.
Yeah, that ain't even a whole.
So therefore, you have to be strategic. When you're engineering, when you're thinking about engineering, whether you're doing your house, whatever, you always have to think about where you putting this stuff at so that it makes sense, so that it has efficient for cost-wise as well as energy-wise. It got to make sense that you get good airflow in these areas. Where you put them at it makes a difference. So for instance, what you'll usually have is 1 VAV per thermostat, all right? Remember this, 1 VAV per thermostat. Now, with that being said, a VAV can supply whatever you want it to supply. If you want to supply 1 VAE for all this, then that's on you. It probably don't work that good, but that's on you. But typical standard is if I got 3 clustered rooms like this, right? I can do 1 thermostat and 1 VAV. All right. So theoretically, I will put a VAV right here outside the room. All right. So I'm just gonna put a V. Okay. And I'll put a thermostat probably right here in this person's room right here. All right. So that symbol right there, the T with the circle, is a symbol for a thermostat. And then I got my VAV, right? So on your project, I want you're gonna do just like this. You're gonna put VAVs all through this whole floor. This just half. So we're gonna do this whole floor. Make this a little bit bigger so that we got a little bit more of the space. So I'm gonna put a VAV. Then go to thermostat. All right. Now, your thermostat, I'm gonna tell you right now, your thermostat more than likely is gonna be near the door. Okay. All right, so make sure If I see your thermostat all the way in the corner stuff, you're wrong, okay? Thermostat, and also I wanna see your drops. Anybody know what I mean by drops?
No.
Your register, okay? That's a drop. That's how it comes off the box. So, right here, this big room, I'm gonna just make this room it. It's really not it, but, alright, there you go. That room right there. Okay, so, check this out. This is gonna be my mechanical room. What's inside of my mechanical room? Air handler. Alright, so on your project, I'm not asking you to draw the air handler. All I'm asking you to do is start running your ductwork. What two ductworks do you have to have throughout the building?
Supply and return.
Supply and return. So I want to come out of here. Excuse me, it gets a little slow, but we're gonna come out, and we gotta start hitting everything. Okay, so we're gonna come out, and this is where it's gonna split off at. So I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna try to make it sort of like a ductwork. So there's gonna be some big ductwork that comes off, and we're gonna hit right here. Why am I hitting right here?
Supply
I'm
the
about to
whole
split
way.
off. Perfect. All right, so now I'm about to split the ductwork. This is the main ductwork, remember. So now we're gonna start splitting off this way. All right. I'm gonna split off this way. Keep going. You want to go ahead and get your ductwork all the way around the building. All right. I'm not even gonna do all that. I'm just gonna do this little part right here. You guys can figure out the rest of it. All right, so we coming off, we splitting off, we coming around this way. I might have another ductwork that comes out this way. All right. Now, this VAV is gonna serve these 3 rooms, right? Now, one thing I'm gonna do in your project, I'm gonna tell you the size of the room. Why is that important? Calculate CFM. I don't know what to say, but CFM. So let's just say, hypothetically, if this room is if all these rooms are, we're gonna say theoretically, they all the same size, and this is, all right, we're gonna go with 50. My boy said 50. 50 CFMs for one room. How many CFMs does that VAV need to push out?
150.
At least 150. Here's the trick though. I want you also to do the sizing of the ductwork. So you got the air coming into the VAV, and then I need to have that air coming out and serving different drops for each room. Do you right see that? All right. Now I'm not gonna make you do a return back to the from the VAV. All right. But I am gonna make you do that. So I want you to put the thermostat, put your drops, your registers, put your drops. All right. And then you also I want you to put the size of the ductwork. So how do we know the size of the ductwork? There's a piece of paper I gave you guys. I told you guys to hold on to it. Do not lose it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I put it up, man.
This paper right here, if you have this, please take this out. If you do not have this, it might start to get you might not understand.
So man, you snuck in.
Going on, my boy.
I didn't realize you were here.
You got him?
You might need to get caught when you're here. Go ahead.
How many people?
Make 15 of them. Make, huh? I mean, rooms.
Variable air velocity. Variable air
I think it's valve. I think it's valve.
value.
Oh, volume. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So it changes the volume. It's basically a metering device for air. It's basically an air metering device.
What is that 50?
So that's CFM.
CFM for that room.
Shouldn't that motherfucker be sent?
Yes, in Baltimore.
While he's going to go get that, I'm going to go ahead and start having to use the round up size, okay? Just to make it easy, we're going to use round up. So we just said how much CFLs we need to cover to all three of these? 150.
Got 8.
Duct sizing. What size? If you look at the flexible duct, what you say?
Flexo is 8. 8.
8? Because it's over 150, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I like that answer, but I don't, because ductwork has to get smaller as it goes down the line.
Mm.
You cannot let the ductwork be the same size. Why not?
Pressure.
Pressure's gonna sit in one area. Ductwork air has to be forced. So if you take that ductwork and you make it smaller every time, so it gets to the end, then it'll get proper flow all the way down. Y'all with me? I did not understand that.
Can you repeat that?
The ductwork, when you find your sizing, all right? So for instance, this is 150, cover 3 rooms. You cannot say, I'm gonna use an 8-inch flexible duct. You need, that's the minimum you need to use, okay? So that means at the end of your line can be that 8-inch, but every time you need to jump it up a little bit more. So you will have an 8, a 9, a 10. You have 10-inch duct. Every round you need to go lower.
On the curves?
Yes. So coming out the VAV, probably if you go this way, you'll probably do a 10, 9, 8.
Because if they was all the same size, it'd sit on one side.
It won't. Nothing is forcing it down the duct.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
All right. Did everybody understand that?
Yeah, it's velocity.
All right. So I need to see that. I need to see what size ductwork you're using based upon your CFM calculations. I need to see that's a 9, that's a 10, that's a 9, that's an 8. I gotta see that. All right. That lets me know that you understand
So
ductwork.
we can stick in the same boxes as CFL?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
All right. There's gonna be a lot of information on this paper. Make sure you write it neat and you get it all in there.
So, what do you advise us to work on first when we're beginning our project?
First thing first, doing just like what I'm doing right now. Start off with your VAV. Do VAV placement first. First thing you do, VAV placement. So let's get back to it. All right, so VAV, I'm gonna put a VAV here to do these 3. I see I got about 4 rooms. I got a cluster, so I'll probably do a VAV for all 4 of those. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a VAV here. All right, and again, you can wait on your ductwork. You don't have to. That's what you was asking me. You kind of wait on that. Just get your VAV location first. So that lets you know where you want to run your ductwork. All right. You can't, if you go ahead and start running ductwork, it might not make no sense. Or your stuff gonna be mad slide. All right. So I'm gonna put a VAV here probably. Now on this back side, those rooms are a little bit bigger. So I might put their own. They might get their own VAV here, just because of the size of the room. That's not gonna kill the budget. All right. Back here, over here, I might put a VAV here. Same thing. We just VAV, VAV. These 3 right here, I'm gonna put a VAV for these. So I'll probably put one here in the hallway. That's gonna serve this one in the hallway for here to serve this one. Okay. Now, this right here is a bathroom. You gotta know what you're looking at when you're looking at prints. Matter of fact, which one is the woman, which one is the man?
The men is at the bottom.
Yeah, it's on top because they got urinals.
Absolutely. So we're gonna put M, we're gonna put W.
Where the urinals at? Oh,
They're smart.
Take a little circle in the circle.
Right there.
Yeah, it don't have no privacy door.
And we're gonna put a VAV in there, okay?
Yo, big ass.
But it's,
Okay.
but it's
Yeah.
some small circles in the other end where the woman is.
Nah, but look at the circles. Look at the privacy door. Do you have a door on your urinal?
Yeah, you see where the circles is?
Yeah. Those are 4 toilets. They got 4 toilets for the woman.
All right, so we just did the office side. I'm not gonna do everything. You should get the hint now. You should understand what we're doing here. Alright, so again, you're just gonna run if you're doing those four, you're just gonna come off, let's just say for this one, I'm gonna come off here, and I'm gonna show my drops here, boom, boom, boom. You gotta get your ductwork here, so however you do that, I don't care if you went here and come here, or you went here and come here, however you do it, you just need to make sure
All gas don't work.
it's gonna be a lot. So just make sure your ductwork get where it needs to get to. Make sure you're showing your thermostats. Your thermostats need to be by the what?
Door.
The door. On the wall by the door.
On the yeah.
Alright, so I got the damn
This look like this gonna be fun doing this. I ain't gonna lie.
Alright, so the last but not least, I'm not gonna kill you on the return side, but I do want you to understand that there has to be a return. Okay? So I got you. So again, this is your mechanical room. So you got you got your supply. We gonna do a return. Just come in. You drop your return right up in here, and it's gonna be the same thing. Your return is just gonna pretty much mimic everything you put here. Okay. All I want to do is see a mimicking of whatever you got here.
That's why you tell us use different colors. So
Yep.
See,
All right. I don't care how you do it. Go whatever. Now, here is an open space. How do you put? How you gonna do the open space area? One VAB? Probably inefficient.
probably put three.
Three.
All right. So I'm about to tell you. You see this right here? What is this? What do you think this is?
Outside.
Windows. Outside window, however you want to say it. That's windows, right?
Yeah.
In front of every window, or all this is a window, but in front of every one of these columns,
VAB.
you need to put a VAB. Okay? If it has a column, those are the column lines, all right?
That's where heat gonna be important.
This is going to be where the heat going to be at the most. This is going to heat up the space the most.
That's that radiation.
So, theoretically, this is a very, very large area. So you want to put a VAB here, VAB here, VAB here, VAB here, and maybe another one right over here.
So where did you put the
Again,
thermostat for that?
Now, would it change if they
On the
had a
column.
skylight?
Oh,
If they had one of them,
He said put
them open?
Yeah, but it wouldn't show that. It's not a 3D rendition.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
No, the posts are the.
Yes.
Talking about.
These are your columns. You could just put your thermostat right here on the column. That's perfectly fine. That's usually how it is anyway. And boom, you good. Go. All right. Now you can see ductwork come down. Now these,
They do make some good shit.
when you do
I
your
think it's over
drops,
print.
think about it, guys. When you do your
We
drops,
have to
you
draw
got
it
a
onto the
VAB.
print.
So where how many drops do I need to come off this VAB?
Two.
You think two? Who, anybody else?
4.
4. I'm gonna drop here, 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 here. I gotta cover the space, guys. I gotta cover the space. Boom, 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 boom.
That's why when you look up, it's so ugly.
open space.
That's a lot of thinking up there.
All right. So
And-
I got a VAB. I got my 4 drops. I will give you the dimensions of the whole space. So then you need to divide it by however many VAB. I don't care if you put 10 in them, but you just need to divide it, and that's how many houses the size of your ductwork. All right. You need to calculate the CFMs. I'm not gonna give you the CFMs. You need to calculate your own CFMs. We did that at the beginning. Again, everything we did is coming into one project. Calculate the CFMs, looking at ductwork, everything.
Now, does location and all that matter to you?
Not in this one. I'm not gonna kill you on that. We already did it. We beat that.
Do the returns have